Hey there, this is Rachel from Write with Rachel, and today I'm going to demonstrate the fast draft brainstorming method for you. This method works well for any non-fiction writing project. For a fiction project, I would recommend my tilt method. For any non-fiction writing project, I do suggest my fast draft brainstorming project map, which I am going to demonstrate to you right now. Next Monday, I will show you how to use this, and I will actually time myself so you can see how fast it is. But today I'm going to walk you through it a little bit slower just so you can see how to set up the process, and I can go through and talk you through the different portions. So today we're going to walk through the different portions. I'm going to show you the different purposes that each one of them serve. So you can see on the grid that I have the different sections. I always like to start by filling in the middle. And in the middle, it's important to remember, what am I creating? When you remember this, it helps with any scope creep so that you don't start branching off into other ideas or other projects. Sometimes people call this a project constraint. It just helps keep you focused on what you're working on. So for today, I'm going to say that I am creating my Mother of the Bride speech. So I like to start there. Then I like to go around and I like to fill in the detail information because the details are usually pretty straightforward. So who is it for? Well, it's for my daughter and her fiance. What is the overall idea of the speech? It is to celebrate them. What is the format or the presentation? This is going to be a 5-minute speech. It's going to be at their reception. I will be reading from a scroll. So that's the presentation. And the due date is going to be November 21 at 6 p.m. So now that I have all the details noted, now I can start filling in some of the ideas. I like to start with the details first because now I can kind of let those go and start working on generating some of the ideas and concepts. So for the introduction, I want to get people's attention. So for my Mother of the Bride speech, I want to tell a story that connects how I met Jason. And so I think I'm going to talk about tacos, how the first time I met Jason, he brought me tacos. And the night before the wedding, he brought me tacos. I guess something I like about Jason is that he always brings me tacos. Something like that should get people engaged in my speech and maybe give them a good laugh. Now I want to connect with the audience. What's something that's heartfelt that I can say that would really, show my love for Jamie and Jason? And so I think I want to tell the story about the times that I saw how well they worked together. Like the time when Jamie had a flat tire in Los Angeles and she called Jason and he left work to go help her. Also the times the four of us went and did fun things like go to the zoo. We went to go play video games. New Year's Eve, Jamie spun the wheel and we all got free drinks. Everyone in the bar did. That was really fun. So just these fun times when we all really connected together. So to re-engage with the audience, I found a really meaningful quote. This will help tie their engagement and their Lord of the Rings themed wedding together. I found a great quote about the Shire and them creating a new home together. And what do I want people to remember about how I feel about Jamie and Jason? I want them to remember how much I love them, how happy I am to have Jason in our family. And how excited I am to get the dancing started. Woohoo! Okay, so this is basically my fast draft, and you can see the way that I've built this, it really does become a draft. I'm going to show you here with my orange. This is part 1. This is part 2. This is part 3. And this is part 4. And this will work to put together anything if you're working on a press release, if you're working on a product brochure, if you were working on an essay. This is a great way to get started on a draft for any of those projects. You can use as little or as much information as you want in these circles. And it's just a good way to get started. Now, I know some people like to jump around, and I would suggest that you could also start here. You could start with the end. You know, what is it that you want people to do after they've read what you've created? And then you could also go here and say, you know, what's important? What do they really need to know, and what's the impact? Feel free to jump around between these 4 circles, and in jumping around between the 4 circles, you will still wind up with a draft that you can put together that will go in order.